What is your purpose? Okay, in this video, I want to kind of explain to you. I think it's a misconception people have about what their purpose is. Some people don't know what their purpose is. Some people don't know where to look for their purpose. Some people don't even think that they have a purpose. I want to make sure that in this video, I can assure you with 100% certainty that you do have a purpose. You were created with a purpose, and your purpose was meant to resonate throughout the world. So who am I to talk to you about purpose? Well, personally, my purpose is to make sure that I find what your purpose is. This is what I was put on planet Earth for. My purpose is to continue my purpose by finding your purpose so that you can live your purpose. And then when you find what your purpose is, I'm sure that many would follow, because purpose is something like water. You know, if I were to put a little buoy over here and this water is flowing, this is your purpose, and we want to move with the stream of the water. We want to live and move within our purpose. So I've authored 7 books. I have 2 more on the way. I've been a chief creative officer for my business, which is called Petrus Digital. I have also founded and have been the head coach for Wing Chun Science, or WCS. I've also been a special guest on TV shows like Growing Up Hip Hop. I've been fortunate to write many articles in different publications. I have been fortunate enough to have done commercials that both on the consumer and on the pharmaceutical side have been blasted and posted all over TV, news magazines. I was also fortunate to have worked on the first 3D model for Dwayne Wade's $4 million sneaker. Of course, all of the proceeds went to charity. And more importantly, above everything, is I've been blessed to have been with my wife for almost 40 years. I have 3 beautiful children, and we've been fortunate enough to have experienced a little bit of life. Now, this is where the crux of this video comes down to, because purpose is important. You know, in your life, you're going to have ups, you're going to have downs. I don't care what age you are or what phase in your life you're in. You will have ups and you will have downs. And, you know, those ebb and flows of life will continue to happen. Now, it's important that when you know, A, that you have a purpose, B, that you live in your purpose, and C, that you're able to share your purpose, you'll be able to kind of work through those ups and downs more and more efficiently, because you know you have a purpose. Meaning, if there's a point B and you were created here in point A, you know you have to get to point B. That is the purpose, that is the drive, that is the magnet that pulls you towards what it is you're supposed to do in life. So like I alluded to earlier, having a purpose is very important for the longevity of whatever it is that you do in your life. And I believe it's important because it'll make a bigger impact on the people that you come in contact with when you know what your purpose is and you know how to drive what their purpose is. So why am I telling you all of this? Is it so that I can pat myself on the back and, you know, show you all of my accolades? Is it so that I can show off and sound pretentious? Absolutely not. The only reason why I even mention any or all of those things, and there's still much more to mention, is because these are the depths of my life in which I've been blessed to have gone. Now, when I was a kid, I really didn't think that I was worth anything. Now, sometimes things go hand in hand. Like, for example, people make you feel like you're not worth anything, and you don't feel like you're worth anything, and together, compounded, you really believe you're not worth anything. And then sometimes it's just you, and then sometimes it's just people, and so on and so forth. But when you know that you have a purpose in something, all of that changes. You know, you've probably been told, or maybe you haven't been told in life, what you're good at and what you're not good at. Or maybe you've been super duper good at something, let's just say great at something, but you lacked in a bunch of other things. You know, a good example would be, you know, I always say that we're like this cut diamond, you know, and we know that diamonds are multifaceted. And so we have a facet of our life which is part and parcel of this diamond, and you're phenomenal over here, but you lack over here. You're great over here, but you suck over here. And for me, when you understand your purpose in life and when you live your purpose, you want to make sure that people get the full brightness, that full spectrum of what that diamond and all of its cuts, all of its multifaceted cuts actually entail. And this way, when people look at you, you know, you've heard that saying or that song, shine bright like a diamond. This is exactly what people see in you. Now, you don't want people to be drawn to you just because you're a diamond. You want people to be drawn to you so that hopefully through conversation, and you can find that in one of my many books that I've written, communication, dialogue, information is crucial and important on how we communicate with each other, how we convey information, and how we relate to each other ultimately. So I'm making this video specifically for you to understand that you do have a purpose, and I am here to pull that out of you. Now, we all think that because something is going well on one side, that's our purpose and this is what life is all about, until we start kind of running into some obstacles and, you know, going through hiccups in life and sometimes calamitous events that, you know, really set us back. But like I said, when you know that you have a purpose and you understand what your purpose is, you will be able to crush through those things in life because you know that there is that point B, that line or that proverbial line. And the beauty is that not unlike a moving target, that line continues to move because as you fulfill your purpose or are fulfilling your purpose, also the radius and expansion starts to move along with it. So like a moving target, you're constantly moving towards trying to help more and more people. Now, they always say, make sure you help yourself first before you help others, right? So this way you can experience what it is that you're trying to help other people with, should they need help or if they even want it at all. And that is true. You have to go through certain things. Now, understanding what your purpose is, you're going to know that you're going to go through things. And when you go through those things, at least you can go through it knowing that it is part of your purpose. And that's where growth happens. You know, growth is not just mentally, you know, not just physically. Growth is spiritually. Growth is understanding that there has to be room for all of these pitfalls to kind of behold you. And these are the things that we want to make sure that we understand are definitely on the path that we are going. Before I make my next video or subsequent videos from here on in, I definitely want you to understand that me growing up Hispanic from New York City, Lower East Side, Alphabet City, in the 70s, early 70s, wasn't like the easiest thing. And you know, life can be pretty difficult no matter where you're at, but more specifically geographically in this location at that time frame, it wasn't easy. You know, I definitely wasn't born into a wealthy family, and no knock on them or anybody else for that matter, but that's just life. We were born into what we were born into. And it was along the way that as a leader, I knew that my successes also have to be other people's successes. You know, your success, again, I say part and parcel, is when other people succeed with you. Now, I learned the hard way that when you become successful, you know, you want to pull everybody in with you, and that's very noble, but it's not realistic. So when you become what it is that you're becoming, and you could be in a position to help other people, number one, we want to make sure that people want the help. Some people don't want the help. But even if they didn't want the help, you can probably, you know, put a little flag out there so that they can acknowledge that maybe they need the help. And once they know or realize or understand that they need the help, want the help, then that's when you're there in a position to help them. But prior to that, you might be giving a lot of people a lot of stuff, and really doing them a disservice because they don't know how to do it themselves because you're giving it to them. You know, you can have a big heart and you can want to give, but you can give yourself away to a place where there's no more return, meaning you gave and emptied your cup and you gave the inside of the cup and you gave the cup all together and there was nothing else to give. And in that sense, it makes no sense for you to give more than you have. And that's why when you have a purpose, you'll understand more and more and more your capacity growing, and especially for the people who truly are looking for help and truly want to make a difference in this world, just like you. And so in subsequent videos, I'm going to outline what those things are. Now, of course, you can just make it easier and pick up any of my books, because all of the books, although they have little nuanced differences, all come down to a common denominator. The core of what I write is always about communication. Now, the more you learn, the more you have things at your disposal to help people with. And then every time you learn something, it isn't for you to hoard it and say, well, I know this. It's for you to get it, receive it, and then give it out. In giving it out, you're going to come in contact with people who are grateful and people who are ungrateful, people who want it and people who don't want it, and people who are just in between the whole process. But in that, you'll start to learn who you are a little bit more and get into the groove of your purpose. And in my subsequent videos, I'm going to show you that. So this video was just a primer, a little introduction of who I am. I highly recommend, not just because they're my books, you can buy other books, but I highly recommend that the books that I write, you get. Number one, they're fairly inexpensive. I mean, very, very inexpensive. They're digital downloads, so you can get it right now. But more importantly is that they're very clear and succinct. They're very quick and fast and easy to read and digest. That's an important part of learning. You know, you can read a 400-page book and never come out with anything. But if you read a book that has been streamlined so that it communicates directly to you, taking my years of experience, I'm 53 years old now, and taking my experience and kind of consolidating that and crystallizing that into a package that I'm able to communicate something to you that you can grab right now, I highly recommend that you get these books. So in the next video and videos after this, I will be making more videos that would help you understand what your purpose is. Now, if you want to have a consultation with me, again, you can reach out. I'm going to put somewhere in here my email address, and I will put you can DM me also. I'll put my social media information here, and I'll even put a phone number. You can reach out to me and we can talk about what your next steps would be. And for a very, 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 very inexpensive but necessary price, I will be able to help you along your journey. And I would say not a long journey, a very quick and expeditious journey to what it is you're looking for and how to find your purpose, live your purpose, and be in your purpose and have that stride that would ultimately ripple down to the rest of the world. So again, my name is Joseph Musi. I look forward to hearing from you again. Please reach out to me anytime you can. Thank you.